Bonjour.
Bonjour. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, fine, fine. I just come back from few days on the beach,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
meeting people. I have used there some of my compassion and did some experience of healing as I do quite always when I'm on this place where you have many people around you. Some who are very, I would say, healing issues. Many, many.
mhm.
So I try to use, what's I've learned from Donna and the 12 apostle women to heal around.
Mhm.
Maybe I can ask Sanja about some techniques to improve.
Well, wonderful. The beach is a very healing place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe it's just you and I today.
No, normally Juan is coming.
Oh, Juan is coming? Oh,
Yeah. I
excellent.
I send an email to Juan, Jacques, and Stefan. Juan say I will come back. Jacques is on trip to Chicago on
Mm.
wedding week.
Oh, wow.
Ouais. And I got no answer from Stefan.
Okay. I'm wondering if we should create a survey to find another meeting time
Yes,
that
this is
is
all
better.
code.
Buenos días,
Buenos
Buenos
días.
días, Juan.
¿cómo están? ¿Cómo
Muy
están
bien.
ustedes?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Bueno, muy bien, también chévere. Aquí
Will,
contento de
do we
estar
get
con,
do
contento de
we get
estar
to
con
see you
ustedes.
today?
Muy bien.
Thank you.
Ah, voy a ponerle los títulos. Ok, disculpen mi ausencia anterior, pero bueno, estaba reflexionando. Estaba viendo que si de verdad era de utilidad para el grupo o no. No me quería convertir en un estorbo y como quiero siempre lo mejor, me di un tiempecito para reflexionar y ver si valía la pena que yo siguiera en el grupo, si valía la pena mi trabajo, que siempre ha sido desinteresado y con mucho amor y cariño hacia la causa del tiempo de corrección.
Juan.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, Juan,
I,
that was your assumptions. you are very useful in this group. It's just we have discussed last time, and I will show you some part of the conversation after within minutes. No, you are really needed, Juan.
very much
Gracias,
so. Very much
gracias.
so.
Jack,
Yes,
el dibujo, el diagrama de los 7 valores, ya
yes.
lo tengo hecho. Te lo voy a enviar. Ya lo tengo en español, lo que me pediste.
Yeah, I got the email, but I had
Sí,
no attachment.
ok, un momentico y se lo voy a enviar, ok.
Yeah.
Un momentito.
I think we're learning the value of each person's gifts
What
from
I
all
did,
across the globe.
yeah, what I did for this session, I've started because I was away and I was unable to download the reports. So I downloaded yesterday night and started to work on this morning. Because we are only with Juan, we can review because on this report, I just started to translate a part concerning Juan. So we can discuss this with him for some time.
Sure.
Then we will see how long it
Okay.
takes.
Jacques, busca en el correo. Ya te lo envié.
Okay, look, wait. Got it. Good.
¿Recibiste?
Okay, got, c'est bon. It's good. Okay. Juan, do you see your screen or you are only on telephone?
No, en PC, laptop.
Ah, okay. Because we don't see your face today.
Ah, ok, no. Es que no lo. Ahora sí. No me había dado
Muchos
cuenta.
mejor.
Hey.
Más mejor.
Mucho mejor.
Mucho mejor. Yes.
Ajá. Más mejor es incorrecto.
No.
Mucho
Gracias. Mucho mejor.
Okay.
You have a haircut, I think.
Ouais.
Haircut and beard trim. You're
Ouais.
a different man.
Yes.
Me corté el pelo.
The same.
Mm.
Ouais.
Tengo headphone, pero no sé cómo hacerlo funcionar. Ya no los tengo por aquí.
Mm. Oh,
Okay.
transcribed it. Perfect.
It's what we have said.
Yeah.
Pero no lo he configurado bien todavía.
Okay, yeah. I hear much better with these on.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I love this.
So what we have said, Juan, last time, we have agreed that it's not easy for you or for David to follow the conversation in English, even while we have a transcription in the caption. So we decided that for the agenda or all the items we will share, we will try to put it in a 2-column like this. So it's in English and in Spanish.
En cuanto a, no hay problema para mí porque yo leo inglés. El problema mío es para hablarlo y escucharlo, entenderlo, pero escribirlo y leerlo, yo estoy muy bien con eso. Gracias de todas maneras.
Yes, but it could be a problem for David sometime.
Sí, David sí tiene ciertos problemas con eso y hay que traducirle porque él siempre dice, no entiendo, y entonces, casualmente porque en realidad no Yo entiendo más o menos un 80%,
Mm.
pero claro, el
Yeah.
idioma, un idioma y otro no es fácil manejarlo a la vez.
Because you know, Juan, you miss 2 sessions. And the last 2 sessions, we had a discussion with Sanjad. And Sanjad said, before you go on any, I would say, family learning center issues or syllabus word, start by learn yourself and learn the team. I mean, concentrate on building on your own foundation around the 7 core values. So you see. And last time we said, we remind Sanjad in NEC 34, he said through Daniel, a foundation of the 3 core values. So it's written here for you. Okay. These are the fundamental values for quality of life, growth, and equality. They are infallible, they are self-evident, and they were given to you bluntly and overtly and deliberately by Sanjad many years ago. So it's why I ask you, now we have Vivida, Ciudad de Vida. I don't know exactly. You can speak, you, Juan, because in,
Crecimiento.
yeah, Igua.
It's a little small for me to see.
Okay. Wait. What's happened here?
Just I don't know what happened, but make your just view. You don't have to view the picture bigger, but make the whole page bigger.
Yeah, it's why I'm trying. Is it better for you now?
Yes. So crecimiento, igualdad.
Es el documento 34 de la NEC.
Yeah.
Okay. Hay que leerlo de nuevo. ¿Para la próxima sería o qué?
No, 2014.
Yo creo que yo lo tengo por aquí.
Yeah. And Sanjad said, you can use those 3 values as a foundation. You can put any ideas against this value, and you will see if it's sustainable, contribute to sustainability or not.
So this was from a transcription from Sanjit in November of 2014. All of this information, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But I thought, as a reminder, in our transcript, it is interesting to get this information, not to forget it.
So the situation, Juan, gave us the opportunity to reflect on whether or not we were operating from the 7 core values as a team. And that's what we have been exploring, specifically about you feeling like you don't need to be here. It's like, what did we do? What did we do as a team that either did not live up to or did live up to the 7 core values in how we managed as a team in our interpersonal relationships? And so the message from Sanja was, go back to the basics and examine yourselves and make sure that you're operating from those values in relationship to each other and other areas of your life. So we spent a good bit of time discussing that and making sure that with regards to you, even that, you know, the whole team is operating with compassion, empathy, love, promoting growth, equality, and all of those things. So lessons learned in your absence, and thank you for the opportunity to grow.
Bueno, gracias a todos por tomar en cuenta. tomarme en cuenta. Sí, todos esos siete valores yo por lo menos yo he tratado de interiorizarlos y de expresarlos con todas las personas, conmigo mismo. Es muy importante uno volver a sí mismo y ver si uno se quiere o no se quiere, ¿verdad? Y también si ese amor que uno tiene lo puede derramar sobre otros, eh, con compasión, con empatía, ¿verdad? Aquí en Venezuela por lo menos tenemos el problema este de la dictadura que estamos sufriendo y mucha gente odia al gobernante. Y yo no lo odio, yo solamente le pido a Dios que trate de entrar que entre en razón y vea el desastre que está cometiendo ahorita. Yo creo que yo practico eso. Eh, Trato de no hablar nada de política para que nada de eso me afecte. Pero sí, en realidad sí estamos viviendo un tiempo muy difícil aquí en nuestro país. Y desde mi perspectiva, bueno, yo no hago nada con odiar al gobernante, a quien me oprime, sino bien quererlo, porque es la forma como Dios nos agradecería que uno lo ayudara con él. Un poquito más de fuerza, ¿verdad? Hacia la compasión. Hay que tener compasión por esos seres que creen que están viviendo una vida mejor y en realidad están construyendo lo peor para ellos. Entonces sí, yo practico yo fui conociéndolo así como ustedes lo conocieron, porque yo hacía las traducciones al español y al hacerlo yo tenía que leerlas y entenderlas para poder dar hacer un buen trabajo. Y sí, y todas esas lecciones fueron entrando en mí y yo las he asimilado. Y doy gracias a Dios por eso. Y doy gracias a Dios por estar con ustedes, porque sé que ustedes son personas empáticas, compasivas, amorosas, que aman la vida, buscan la calidad de vida, van creciendo como seres y además están practicando la igualdad. Gracias.
Gracias, Juan. When you speak about politics here, I understand in your country it's very difficult time, but be aware, Juan, on many countries, it's a very difficult time. In US, it's a difficult time. In Europe, it's difficult time. There are many votes. There is many votes at this time in Europe, and all the parties are fighting. All the parties are fighting. It's all about separation. All about separation, not only in your country. It's the same, I think, in South Africa with Marta. So, you know, what I've said, Sanjat and Makivanta, is we need to be the people who know the situation, and we must be the people who bring the solutions. Kona, if you want to comment.
No,
Así
it's
es.
true. Yeah.
Así es. Muy cierto, Jack.
So you see, we have, on the last meeting, we had thought about all these questions. So we have recognized we were on the wrong road, because each time we took decision, it was not always against the 7 core values. We did not too much care about translating document. We thought you can do the job, but we were wrong. I think it's better approach to have English, yeah, English and Spanish, so that we can follow all what is said. And you cannot, because as a team, even if we progress slowly, I don't think it is an issue, because Sonjad said many times, take your time. Know yourself. You will not change the world if you cannot change yourself. Starting by yourself, your family, and your team, and the society later on.
Sí,
It's why,
el cambio viene desde uno mismo. Si uno no cambia, no puede haber más cambio. Uno solamente puede cambiarse a uno mismo, no puede cambiar lo demás. Pero sí, al cambiar uno, hace que los demás cambien. Y sí es cierto, hagamos el cambio nuestro para que haya un cambio en el mundo. Seamos más positivos en todo lo que hacemos, siempre pensando en lo mejor para que lo mejor venga. Sobreponernos a lo negativo y lo negativo dejarlo de lado, no hablar más de él, sino hablar siempre en positivo, de lo bueno, no de lo malo.
yeah. I think as the different group from Makivanta, our group, Mission Urantia, and other group like the ICC group and many other groups, what we need to do is to put everything on the positive way and to prepare the future. How it will take for us to do that, I don't know. I suppose within 2 years, we'll have probably a better idea. We will have produced something, I'm sure, but I don't know.
Well, Jacques, you're part of ICC. You come to a lot of Donna's prayer calls,
Yes.
and you know that the focus for a long time, since last year, has been cleaning up the mind circuits and the energy circuits of the planet and the
Yeah.
collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And the simple practice of us being true to those core values strengthens those circuits. So what we're doing is strengthening the new foundation in the planet to operate at a higher level or higher vibration even, but a higher consciousness of love one towards the other. And so this is key. And, you know, remembering what Sanja said, once we lay this foundation, then we can build everything else on top and it'll be a solid structure.
No.
So if we know, like today, we're operating in this place, then we can have a conversation about the schematic, or we can have a conversation about the syllabus, or we can have a conversation about the family learning centers. So this gave us the opportunity to pause and reflect and make sure that we have the foundation, and now we can continue these conversations. The most important thing is for us to become aware of everything that we're doing to each other. And if one of our group members is offended or hurt, we have to stop and pause so that the world will it ripples into the world, so the world will stop and pause and say, one person in my circle of influence has been hurt. And so we need to stop and pause and bring that person back in and do the right thing. It's simply patterning. We're simply operating in the pattern of the Father, and we have to do it before we can expect the world to do it.
Yes. Juan, did you have some comment with the Kona? conversation.
Sí, eso es muy importante, que nosotros actuemos en el mismo ámbito que estamos, no ir a curar el hambre allá en África cuando tenemos muchas personas hambrientas a nuestro lado. Tenemos que actuar de acuerdo a la economía de la distancia. No podemos estar preocupándonos por incendios en Australia cuando aquí tenemos un gran incendio también, que tenemos que apagarlo. Entonces, creo que cada quien que haga lo suyo donde está, se hace mucho, se hace mucho. No estar tratando de resolver los problemas que están bien lejos de nosotros, cuando en realidad aquí tenemos muchos problemas gravísimos que hay que resolver. Y sí es importante que nos hagamos un rebuilding aquí del grupo, volver a organizarnos, hacer un plan y distribuir tareas para que cada quien en la parte que más se pueda desarrollarse pueda hacer un buen trabajo. Que es una vez que se sume, que se junte, se concrete en todo, va a ser algo muy importante para este planeta. Algo vamos a dejar para las próximas generaciones.
Do we know what David's proposal for next week is about?
La propuesta puede ser que trabajemos de la mano con Misión Urantia.
Oh, yes, okay.
Sí, que no nos disgreguemos, sino más bien nos unamos. Es importante la unión porque, ok, nosotros podemos actuar como una célula de Misión Urantia, hacer un gran trabajo para ella. Y creo que sí lo podemos hacer, y muy importante. Yo creo que los celestiales han puesto su fe en nosotros, porque ven que nosotros tenemos potencial para lograr los objetivos que nos planteemos y ayudarlos a ellos a conseguir lo que ellos necesitan hacer también.
So if it is the same proposal that he's given us for Mission Urantia, what we have discussed as board members is the overlapping of this design team process. And Friday's design team is very productive. And the design team work that we're trying to do in Mission Urantia is somewhat productive. There's two completely different approaches. What was on my heart and mind for today, and we can see if Sanja takes us in a different direction. And this is coming up in conversation about our executive structure, is using the design team process and format to build an executive structure that is founded on the 7 core values. So the work that this group is doing is very valuable. And those of us that are in both, myself, David, Martha, would love to see this group somehow working with Mission Urantia in the design team process because of the overlap. But what's happening on the design team with Mission Urantia is that we, with Vicki Vanderhayden, myself and John Morris, are three people on the design team committee there, have made an agreement to focus on the role of the facilitator. And so without doing extensive training for the whole group, the idea is to develop the role of the facilitator, because in going through Daniel's work, the role of the facilitator is the lead role for the cohesiveness of the group to function. Now, Jacques has been your facilitator since I've been here, and he does a wonderful job. But in reality, we need everyone to be a facilitator, have the qualities of a facilitator, so that you can take that opportunity in your family, in your community, in your business to operate as a facilitator and do like the personal check. Am I living by the 7 core values? Is my family, are we operating under those 7 core values? Is my business? And as a facilitator, how can I, like Jesus, when, Christ Michael, when he was here as Jesus, how can I interact and dialogue with the people around me to constructively lead them to operating with 7 core values, to see each other, to listen to each other, to have compassion towards each other. Jesus was the ultimate facilitator on the planet when he was here. I mean, that's what he did. And so the focus for Mission Urantia design team is to develop that role of the facilitator, and what does that look like? So David may have some more thoughts about that or not. I mean, but I know we've had discussion about working together so that there's not this overlap, but that's going to depend on this team. And either way, I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever decision is made. I just kind of flow with where the celestials take me. I go here if they take me. I go there if they take me.
Yeah, it's quite interesting what you are saying, but we have to be careful with all the team members in this Friday group to share this idea, because you remember the Jeff. He will answer to me, Jeff, but I know very well he was leaving because Daniel was not anymore with us. That's the most important part, but there are many other things, so we have to be careful. But I agree, it's quite strange, I realize myself, that the Friday groups and the Mission Urantia, we share 3 people in this with these two between these two groups. And I don't think it comes by a chance. There is probably a plan behind this. There is probably a plan. Yes.
And B, even because B serves on committees with Mission Urantia. So she's not on the board, but she participates. So we're working out, the other details with, the organization. John and David and I have met 3 days this week, 4 days this week. We've met every day trying to, work with a structure proposal for the group to move forward with, developing the mission. So anyway, I'll leave the rest of that to David. But I was wondering, we'll ask Sanja, but wondering if we could also discuss that the role of the facilitator, because if each of us is operating from the mindset of a facilitator, then the work that we're doing, whether it's creating the syllabus or creating a wiki page or the family learning centers, if we're operating from a mindset of a facilitator, we're always going to be mindful of those 7 core values, and if they are operating in our sphere of influence. That was my thought for today.
And I have a question, because you are part of the mission Urantia. I thought about the YoAm website, which is started to bubble. Is there a plan to translate it into Spanish? For sure with David, and but also into French.
It has a button on it that allows you to choose your language.
Ah,
And so it will automatically, there are embedded apps in websites now where you can choose your language and the whole thing will be translated to your language. So I'm pretty sure that's how he does that. And we
okay.
have the same on the Mission Urantia website. You can, there's a, I think a spot there, I'll have to double check, where you can choose your language so that it's automatically translated. You know.
So I will check the quality of the translation in French. And then I will report to Deborah and so on. Okay, that's a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you have you have seen Juan. So we have discussed many things about. Well, we have discussed about languages, the problem of languages, and we agreed that nowadays we'll try to put English on one side, Spanish on the other side when we have a conversation and something to share. What I will need from you, Juan, is I want you to help me to translate also this type of thing in maybe Spanish, because myself, I just put this translation into DeepL. Sometimes Google Translation too, but DeepL is better. But I don't know the result if it's good. I just copy paste. So do you agree, Juan, that when the transcript is published into English, I can give it to you so that you translate about these 10 pages into Spanish, so that for our record, we have it there. Is that okay for you?
You're muted, Juan.
Muted. No, you're still muted. Okay.
No, sí, yo puedo hacer la traducción totalmente. Yo utilizo tipo.com. Yo creo que tú lo utilizas también en Jacques. Deeper.
DeepL. Okay.
No sé si se traduce bien. Ok, sí, yo lo puedo hacer tranquilamente con la mejor forma que se puede hacer. El traductor te permite hacer en diferentes versiones. Y el idioma español tiene mucha forma de hablarse. Y entonces hay que buscar la adecuada para que sea lo más entendible. ¿Ok? Llevar siempre la congruencia del idioma.
Okay.
Sí, yo puedo hacer todas las traducciones que quiera. Y también necesitamos también desarrollar la parte portuguesa. Porque tenemos un vecino aquí que es sumamente grande, que es Brasil. Y ellos hablan portugués.
Because you remember, Juan, when we start to work on the syllabus, it was it was a lot of English words and no Spanish words for David to discuss. So it's why we have decided this is best format. We start a subject and we put here, and then we put in Spanish. So we stay on the same line.
Ok. Sí, podríamos. Es buena idea. Es buena idea hacer esa actividad. Más que todo para las personas que, por lo menos que en el futuro alguien que hable solamente portugués también se podría adicionar. Porque tarde que temprano alguna persona de Brasil va a salir a relucir. Y tengo que estar listo para cuando llegue.
Yeah. Kona has a question. She raised the hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, David was with us last week and, he made the point that's one of the reasons why he was not coming is the way that we were speaking so much in English and not waiting for the translation was very difficult for him. And everything on the screen is in English and he doesn't read it like you do. And so, you're leaving, and then the realization that he left for the same reason is why we know we need to make changes. Because as you say, for you can read, you can read it and write it, but not everybody that we want to reach has that capacity, and we want to make sure that we have the compassion for everyone.
Sí, eso es cierto. Es cierto. Sí, es una buena opción hacerlo en dos idiomas, así como lo está haciendo Jack. Me parece una buena idea. Porque, ok, uno piensa como uno piensa, pero no piensa como los demás. Y lo que para mí es fácil, para él se le hace muy difícil. Y yo creo que esa es una de las razones por las que él casi no asiste a las reuniones. Porque se siente como que no entiende mucho lo que se habla. Y yo creo que es una buena solución la que presentó Jack.
No, we will work this way, and we will not go through many subjects if we are not on the same line. It's useless.
And take the time to put the agenda in English and Spanish as well. That's one of the things that we discussed is if we have an agenda, we have something to review together, it has to be in both languages. Or we take the time to put the translation in as we go so that everyone can participate. So I think the right-hand side is still too large. It's off the page.
I don't know what happens here. So I don't want to manipulate too much, but I don't know what has been changed here. Let me come back. Let me come back to the beginning.
Or maybe click, yeah, exactly. Click reverse a couple of times. There, now it's right.
It's right. Now I will enlarge the both. Voila.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. Okay. So I have said now the question for us, but we are only three. It's, did you explore your bias and assumption during the past week? Man, it was one of the exercises we have discussed last time. For example, how did you support the life during the last week? Do you bring quality of life to other people during this week? Was equality a concern for you? Or how you express love, empathy, and compassion? But you have here the text, Juan. For you, it's easier. And here I would like to put the Spanish version. When I put it, it was a mess. But it...
Ok, envíame por correo lo que necesita que yo traduzca y yo te lo hago.
No, I will do after the meeting. It's an easy job. No, the question is here. Now it's 46, so I don't know if the other people... Do you think Mart will join?
She said she was coming at noon.
Okay. And this is also the issue you spoke about, Kona, is the meeting time okay for everybody?
Right. And so I was thinking maybe we send a survey for everyone, what are the 3 best days? The survey says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Pick 3 days. And then another part of the survey says, you know, what time, Monday, what times, Tuesday, what times, Wednesday, what times, and allow people to give the top 3. And then we try to coordinate the best times for everyone, because Stefan left because our meeting time was not good. Martha often misses because the meeting time is not good. B has a limited amount of time because the meeting time is not good.
Yeah.
So that's at least 3 people affected by our meeting time. I have some flexibility with the meeting time. So maybe like a Google survey or something we could do.
Yeah. But we can, I would like to discuss while we are all here quickly, because then we can focus more on some item. Because for me, any days would go, but I know that Saturday is a day also for the ICC. It's the same for me.
Saturday and Sunday.
And it's the same for me. Saturday and Sunday, I would say no, because I share with ICC and the Alpha group on Sunday. Also, they would be okay, but for the timing after, of course, I don't know. For me, this time is quite okay. If we move too much forward, it would be a problem for me with my family, because after it's too late and so on. Bon, anyway, we will see.
So starting in September, September 3rd, I have a class on Fridays that would interfere with this time. Okay, so in September, by September, I have to have another meeting time or I won't be able to be here because of my class.
Yeah. So definitively we have to move. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
If I'm gonna, yeah. But for the questions, I'll begin. Did I explore my biases and assumptions during the week? In my personal relationship, I have to explore that on a regular basis, especially my assumptions. You know, if something is not happening the way that I am expecting, what are my assumptions about what's happening with the other person? So I look at that. And then for number 2, I spend quite a bit of time. I'm very cognizant of my role as a grandparent and a parent living with my son and my grandchildren. That this opportunity has been given to me to help with their quality of life, with teaching the love, empathy, and compassion, with helping them to understand, you know, a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old, trying to teach them and bring them up with these principles with their dad, my son, and, you know, bring a higher quality of life to them that's not material, right? We're talking about a quality of life that is relational. In my estimation, a quality of life is not always material. A lot of it's relational. So I'm constantly exploring and checking myself. Did I handle that good with the kids? Could I have done something better? You know, what can I do to help them learn, you know, with less stress or make better decisions, you know? So I feel like I'm constantly exploring how those 7 core values are operating in my life and how I'm translating that as a parent and grandparent.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Juan, do you want to start to answer this question?
You're muted, my friend.
Ok. Exploraste tus prejuicios y suposiciones durante esta semana. Bueno, yo a partir de cuando conocí el libro de Urantia, tenía ciertos prejuicios y suposiciones de la vida. No sabía en realidad qué era la vida ni nada, sino que vivía solamente. Y claro, sentía que esos valores innatos que después que he conocido, sí estaban operando en cierto sentido, pero tenía la incertidumbre de la existencia de Dios, no sabía si existía o no existía, hasta que leí el libro Urantia y me aclaró muchas dudas y me quitó muchas suposiciones, muchas creencias que tenía, fueron totalmente desechadas. Y es como dijo Jesús, que no hay que echar vino nuevo en odres viejos. Traté de limpiar mi mente, mi corazón, y para entender mucho mejor lo que está sucediendo ahorita. Ya aprecio mucho la vida. Eh, la vida es algo invalorable. Es un milagro que cada uno de nosotros haya sido dotado de vida. ¿El por qué? Mm, No lo sabemos, porque fuimos nosotros y no otros seres que no existen o que no llegaron a existir nunca. ¿Por qué nosotros sí? Porque ellos no. Sí, aprendí a apreciar mucho la vida, a tratar de vivir cada momento, vivirlo bien, con calidad de vida, no material, pero sí interna, interior, buscando mi crecimiento espiritual y siempre tratando de ver a mi prójimo como mi hermano, como mi igual. Eh, Nunca competir con él, sino competir conmigo mismo en el sentido de mejorar, de crecer más. Eh, entonces, suposiciones, bueno, yo siempre doy por sentado que una persona es buena, creo en la buena fe de la gente. Lamentablemente me equivoco mucho, pero ojalá ojalá el nivel de equivocación no fuera tan grande, porque uno confía mucho en las personas, pero por el mismo hecho de tratarlos como iguales, porque lo somos de hecho, pero la otra parte no entiende eso, no entienden que somos nacidos del mismo sitio, venimos del mismo sitio y que vamos al mismo sitio si decidimos hacerlo. Gracias.
I did not catch the last part. When you say others did not understand, what do you mean?
Ok, no capté la última parte.
You said others do not understand. What you mean here? Because it's a bias. I have the same bias, don't care. I have the same bias. I thought I am right, the others are wrong.
Bueno, repito que uno se equivoca mucho con las personas, porque uno tiene fe en ellas y confía en ellas. Y por lo general las personas no saben eh, que dañar la confianza que se tiene en ellas es algo que es muy negativo. Yo confío siempre a la gente con buena fe. Yo siempre creo que ellos son buenos. De hecho, son buenos. Pero lamentablemente me equivoco mucho con eso. Porque las personas no entienden en realidad el valor que tienen. No saben quiénes son. Y por eso fallan tanto. Ojalá pudiera hacer algo para que eso no sucediera, pero Sucede, sencillamente sucede.
Okay, okay.
¿Está
Okay,
bien?
yeah, that clarify, yeah.
Mm.
So to myself, yes, I have many bias, like many people. Because sometimes when I think about the Urantia book, I try to promote the book, but also to force people to go in that direction. And this is an assumption of thinking that people have the same beliefs as you are. I mean, the spiritual beliefs. So I say, this is the best for you. And this is my tendency. And I know it's an error. I try to moderate this tendency. But when I speak, for example, to people, to life after death, I love this subject. To open the door for these people to think about what happened after this life. But I realize that many people at that stage are not always open. So I have understood I should not go into too much detail, but just seed an idea, no more. So my assumption is now I have to be careful with people, not to force people. And regarding my personal relationship, I have a real problem here with my partner, my wife, about doing this activity. She don't understand why this happened. She don't trust what we are doing. So that caused me problem, but I don't know really how to approach it. But it's a real concern. It's such concern that if you told me we can do the meeting at 7 p.m. my time, I would say to you, no, I will not do it. It will cause too much problem. How to solve? Don't know. I suppose it's a challenge for me to find a solution. But up to now, I did not find the solution. So this is a strong issue between me and my partners about this relationship with this activity. I will not stop it because it's my choice. I cannot force her to listen, but still I want her to let me go on. That's my wish. Okay. Regarding the exploration of the 7 core values in my daily life, did I support life? Yes, I try to support life every time I can, not to kill all the animals who are damaging my salad. So I try to remove them away from the salad and not to kill them. This is so it's a way I support the life, and I support the life of others, of course. I try to bring quality of life to others when I can, by a kind word, by a smile, by a gentle speech. This is something I try to be an habit in my daily life. I realize it's a long process because I start doing that since 10 years. And it's a very slow process. Each time you meet a people, look at him with kindness, with compassion, and with love. I try to do that. Was equality a concern? Yes, equality is a concern for me. And more, when I look at people, I try to see what I can do for them. And expressing love, compassion, and empathy, yes, this is something I try to do. And as I said to Connor before, last week I was on vacation on the beach. And each time I found a person who has an handicap, who has a problem, who have some saying. Sometimes I use the technique of the ICC women group, seeding the energy of love from other spirit, sending them the peace of Father Michael. And when I see injustice, I use the Manjaranson Manjaranson is about the divine justice. It's about giving, sending divine justice. And last week, for example, I was on the beach and there was a woman who was as an health issue, probably on the heart issue. So they call the health security on the beach. They call the ambulance to pick up. So when I saw this kind of thing, now I've learned to send also healing energy to this woman from the celestial, saying, do the best for this person so that she can continue to live if it's in accordance with the design plan of her plan. This is the kind of thing I experiment. Sometimes I know it's working because I got quite a strong energy on my chakra 7, which is I know there is something coming outside me. So this is something I'm learning in my daily life. Voila, my friends. But my big challenge now is my personal relationship with my activity, not supported by my wife. I don't know what I can do really.
The only thing I can say about that is, you know, just love her, love her, love her. I do this because I love you. I do this because I love my children. I do this because I love my grandchildren. I want the world to be a better place.
Yeah. Here it's all about fear. She fears that this is is a group of sort of franc-maçon or whatever it is, you see, because she cannot understand what's going on with this group or was with Mission Urantia. She don't really understand that. I should probably better explain, but I don't know how to explain. She when she does not, if she doesn't listen.
All
So
about love.
yeah,
Is she religious? Does she have a faith
yes,
tradition?
yes, yeah. It's why the Urantia book she don't like. She's too far from the tradition, too far from.
She's very traditional. Yeah.
Not very, but she's traditional. Yeah. We did 1 hour, so I don't know. Kona, do you think that Sanjad would say some word to us today?
I can certainly try. Let me
Yeah.
put my phone on silent for a moment. Shut my door. If nothing else, we'll at least have some silence, because we didn't do that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Good day. This is Sanja. Greetings from me and the team on this side. We thank you very much for the invitation to be here and to be with you. We follow your progress with great interest, and we are very pleased that you have taken the time to talk amongst yourselves as colleagues about these very important matters, these personal situations that arise between you, and taken the time to have some resolution going forward for your comrades. This is great progress on your behalf, and you will be able to move forward much more easily at this point. Do you have any questions for me today?
Thank you, Sanjad. Yeah, we try to progress together and to found and to analyze our, let's say, how we explore life, exploring the foundation around the 7 core values in our daily life. We start to do this exercise today. We are just 3, but we will continue with other person. And I think when we will have explored these values, how we do, we behave around this 7 value, then we can progress and go on the other subject. It's what I see the future.
Yes, this is very good for you. It is very rewarding, once again, for us to see you progress along these lines. It creates a very large heart space in this one here that is with you on my behalf. And it is doing the same with everyone in your sphere of influence. The more time that you take to develop these relational skills and relationships in general, the greater that heart space will expand amongst you in your families and communities. And this is what your planet needs now more than anything, more than training, more than buildings, more than an economy. Your planet needs to have care one for each other amongst humanity.
Juan, do you have a question for Sanjad?
No, por los momentos no tengo ninguno. Gracias.
Okay. Sanjad, I have another question for you. I share with my team members today this personal issue I have with my wife, because each time I try to discuss this subject, she don't trust me, or she said that's not interesting. I personally don't know how to progress with her, because I think it is fundamental for me that we have this good relationship and she accepts what I am doing here. It's not just, I would say, a bias or an assumption. It's something I think it's very important, even for the group itself. If you have any such comment or suggestion, please.
Sure, thank you for that request. Your relationship with your wife is foundational to your progress and your ascension plan. So the greatest gift that you can give her is not a conversation, but genuine love. If you consistently demonstrate the love that you have for her and your compassion and empathy and your caring, how can she ever doubt that what you are doing is anything other than the same as what she would prefer in her spouse? After all, what everyone wants in a relationship is that love and acceptance and security that each person is valued in that relationship. So just consistently demonstrate your love your compassion, your empathy, and your integrity with her, and the rest will eventually resolve itself.
Thank you, Sonja, for this very important answer and direction for me. Thank you, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. If you have no other questions for me today, your work here is complete for the moment, and I will bid you adieu until next time.
Okay, Sonja, au revoir and thank you.
Thank you. Good day.
Yes, Connor, you were correct. What you are saying is that to my answer. Show love, demonstrate compassion. Be the example you are doing, we are trying to do for the other, become the example, but you need to be the example in your own family. Yeah, sure. It's true.
Just be full of love.
Yeah, yeah.
Answer everything with love. You can't argue with love.
No.
You can argue any point. I used to think, especially after I became a Christian myself, and it's like I learned that thing, you don't argue with the devil is what they used to say, but it's like just don't argue. Just don't argue. Arguing does nothing. Demonstrate love.
Yeah, true.
You don't agree. It's okay. I love you. Wait, I agree to disagree.
Yes, yes, that's the answer. It's true. But yeah, as I told at the beginning, my assumption are always to try to convince that we are doing good job. Doesn't work.
No, just be love.
Yeah.
Be love 100%. She can't argue with that.
No, we will
and
see
if she
the
does,
result.
then that's her problem. If she argues with love, it's like, I love you. What are you arguing about?
Okay, good. Bon.
Yeah, I love when Sanja shows up and I just like it's just all this emotion, this deep heartfelt. There's so much love for this group. There's so much love for you from coming through from the Celestials. I just feel this emotional, just love connection surging out to you two. And I'll take some for myself too, but
yeah. One day, maybe we will ask more, I would say, curious question to Sanjad about the team itself, the Melchizedek teams around us. I remember with Daniel, there are many questions on that, but usually Makivanta say, it's not really your problem. We are a team. Because do you remember the questions through the PMG or the neck transcript with Daniel? Do you remember all these questions in the past? No? Okay. No, there's many questions. But it's quite a curious, but because we are forming a team now, it's quite interesting to see what's above. It's the same with Donna when she said, we have our sisters, healing sisters. I understand. I don't know if she can see them or feel them strongly. She feels them strongly, I suppose. Because she said in the book, she said in the book she had a vision one day of this woman.
I think she can see them. I don't have a visual expression of any of them. I have been able to sense the presence of the unseen beings since I was a child. I have and even before I met Donna and understood the Urantia book, I have a calling in. I've had a calling in mystery. There's the folks that go into the borderlands and help pray for those people and move. Well, I don't go into the borderlands. We've had spirits that walk the earth. I will go to places where there's been, like when I lived in Georgia, we had the Civil War. There are places in Georgia where the Civil War, so many people died. And so sometimes I'll get called there to go and and pray and minister and say, you don't have to stay. You
So
can still,
you meet them.
you can still leave. I sense their presence,
Ah,
and I'll minister and I'll give them the
okay.
word. The good news is still good and Jesus is still real and you don't have to stay. And by the way, you're dead. By the way, you're dead and there's a better life on the other side.
Yeah. Because I have a friend, Orlando, he's a Spanish guy. And since like you, since very young, he was able to see dead people. It was quite natural for him. It was natural. He see them around him, and he learned it was dead. So after he start to transition these people to the other realm.
Yeah.
So when we met together 2-3 years ago, so I discussed about the Urantia book, and suddenly it became very very curious because he told me. Finally, I never really asked the question why I was able to see and what to do. I learned it was natural. I was inspired to do this. Go away. You have an angel close to you now. He's coming. And now he is quite curious about more about this. What are the side? What the Urantia book? How the universe is structured. So it's a nice conversation with this guy. But I understand it's not always it's a gift, but it's a very challenging gift, I think.
Yeah, I don't tell a lot of people about that unless, you know, they're in a space to understand. Like you understand the celestials
Yeah.
more or less. I mean, you're open to having
Yeah.
conversations. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I've been doing that for a long time, you know, at different times, or sometimes even if I'm at home and all of a sudden I feel a very cold presence and I can't figure out, I'm like, oh, hi, I'm not crazy about you being here, so let's have a conversation. I've been through a museum one time and picked up a few dead bodies that left the museum with me, and I'm like, go back or
Yeah.
move on, but you cannot come with me.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful because they resonate with my vibration. I have to be careful that I don't pick up these spirits because they're looking for truth, they're looking for light, they're looking for an explanation. And if they're fading, right, if they don't have the source, if they're fading, then they want to cling. They want to cling to something that's going to give them some life. So that's why it's important to help them transition.
Yeah.
So I hate that we lost Juan.
Well,
Is it time for us to sign off?
I don't know. But you know the story about George Bernard, the one who was setting up the website 1111 Prompt Group.
I don't know the story.
George Bernard was the one when he was a child, like you were a child. He was seeing a midwayer.
Oh, wow.
Well, every at noon every day during the lunchtime, he was seeing a guy at the end of the table. They became friends, but at that time he was not aware it was a midwayer. It was a very he had a very strange shape. And the father and his mother he say, okay, put a dish at the end of the table for my friend. So the mother was kind, and they say, okay. So they put something there, no food in the, but he was sitting in front of the dish, and he was looking at them. And after he learned to discuss with this person, not knowing he was a midwayer, then he discovered the Urantia book later on, very later on. And from the Urantia book, he understands those universe structure, midwayer, angel. So we ask him, are you an angel? He say, no, I am a midwayer. I am a secondary midwayer, and my name is ABC22. You can call me
wow.
Well, he said, you can call me Butzu. And they call it
Butzu.
Butzu. And with this midwayer, he did a lot of healings, many healings.
Wow.
He owned a clinics to have a healing. clinics.
Wow.
And each time he has a person in front of you, he has Budzu. Sometimes it was not Budzu. Budzu say, no, it's not for me. I will send you somebody else, another midwayer or another primary midwayer.
Mhm.
And another midwayer came and they healed the person. And
Wow.
then start the story of the 11-11 progress group.
Wow.
And George died 2 years ago.
Oh, never
But
had the chance.
oh, he had thousands of transcripts on his website.
Is
Thousands.
the 1111 website is still up and being maintained,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yes, it's maintained because
great.
his wife Wendy, she put back all transcripts, which are still valid. Like
Mhm.
the Melchizedek say, every 2 years you have always the same routine.
Yeah,
Martha,
good.
Good
Martha.
afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm afraid I have a terrible cold, and I'm going to switch on my video. But hi, how are you? Sorry that I'm so late.
No.
Well, we've mostly done everything and probably wrapping up. So we're just having light conversation at the time. Sorry you're not feeling well.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
We have discussed with Juan, and Juan, what is now the position? Is it okay for you? You understand everything and you're happy with what we propose to put everything in English, share with you many messages
Spanish.
in Spanish and English. Juan, maybe you can comment what we have done today.
And you're still muted.
And you
Yeah.
can do it in Spanish because
Sí,
Marta,
That's right.
es una buena idea.
do it in Spanish.
Mi doctor.
Hola, ¿cómo está Marta?
Muy bien, gracias.
No.
¿Cómo está la ciudad del Cabo?
Bastante frío. I mean, we're in exactly the opposite space that you are. It's very cold. I can see for the first time a tiny shirt, Kona, so I think that's wonderful. Are you all, I
Right?
mean, yeah, sure. I've seen the
Heat
horrific
wave.
yeah,
Yeah.
and horrific deaths in Mecca and in Greece. Yeah.
Yeah. We're definitely in the
Eh,
heat.
¿Sabe, Jack? Me perdí todo lo que hablaste porque en este momento se fue la electricidad y tuve que conectarme con el teléfono.
Okay. No, I was telling the story of George Bernard to Kona because George Bernard, when he was young, was
George
seeing.
Bernard.
You remember? So he was seeing a guy at the end of the table every noon. They became friends, but he never knows who he was, and he never asked the question as a young guy. But after reading the Urantia book, he started to ask questions to this person. He said, "Who are you? Finally, you are an angel?" And he said, "No, I am just a midwayer, and my name is ABC22. Call me Budzu." And Budzu was a real warrior, and he tells a story about he tells a story about the rebellion, and he said during the time of the rebellion, he said, we were like the voyou, I don't know, the gangster. We midwayer, we were not educated at all, he said. We do everything. And it was funny. So he explained many things. And Budzu became the friend of George Bernard, and they founded the 11-11 group in Australia. And George Bernard became a healer, he heals people using the spirit as a guide. One day, for example, Budzu said to George Bernard, go to San Francisco. He was in Australia. So he said, how do I do that? Say, in spirit, go with me, go to Pier 11 on San Francisco Bay. There is one person to rescue there. So mentally he goes there, he says, what I have to do? You have to do to think about, look at it in the water. There is a dead woman since a century ago. She was killed by the gangster in the bar, and she was drowned in the bay of San Francisco. So they rescue because Budzu say, I cannot do it myself. She cannot see me, but she can see you because you have human vibration. I am just above. So they save this lady, say, now you're dead. You have been killed. Go away. That was the story. There are plenty of nice stories with these people. I love them. Very much.
Wow.
That was the conversation, Juan.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about being, because in Martha, you know this, because I have I don't see, but I sense people who've passed that are kind of stuck here.
Yeah.
And I've prayed them on, help them transition. So he was telling me stories about George Barnard, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah. And we did a very nice session today because I shared, let me wait.
So no stress here today, Martha.
It's
No stress.
no stress. That's
No
wonderful.
stress here. Just sharing, being comrades.
So this is what we have shared today with
Let me
Juan.
just make it large so I can see. Oop. I'm just
You
trying
can
to
see,
see how to make it big.
no,
because
it's me. Maybe I can make big myself.
Oh, I see. Could you make it bigger so that I can see? Because I think the thing is underneath you viewing Jacques Reverso's screen is the one to make it bigger. Okay.
It's big. It's enough?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Can you stop first, stop sharing, and make the page the whole page? And then you start sharing.
It actually is the whole page for me.
Is it? Oh, I don't know why I
Yes.
can't see. Maybe let's see if I can. Oh, I can do it. I can share it myself. Perfect. I've got it. Thank you. Yeah.
So you see, we have shared with
Yeah.
Juan
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
what we have said last time. You remember that
Mhm.
We
the
have the
Sanjab
graphic
message,
now.
and
What now?
And
we okay, and we
He's saying that we
explained
have the
to
graphic.
yeah, and yes, true, we have the graphic, and we explained to Juan the discussion we had last week about problem of, let's say, language,
Yeah.
not listen too much what Juan has done.
Mm-hmm.
And Juan confirmed that he was not joining because he had some problem about what we do. But maybe Juan, you can explain to Martha what is your, I would say,
Perspective.
how do you feel now after this discussion? Huh? Juan, how do you feel after this discussion?
No, todo muy bien. Todo muy bien, Jack. Gracias. De verdad, ha sido una buena reunión. Y sí, había algo que quería decirte, que no sé si ustedes conocen un libro que se llama Confesiones de un ángel rebelde, de un tal Timothy.
Oh, yes, yeah. I have the book.
Oh,
ok.
wow.
But
Muy
anyway,
bueno.
no, there are many books. It's Timothy Willis.
Ajá. Ajá.
But it's I don't know what to think about this story about the rebel angels. But it's quite interesting, but I don't know if it's true. Really, I don't know. But it's very interesting. Well,
What were you thinking
Sí, es
about
muy
it,
interesante el libro.
Juan? ¿Qué pensabas acerca del libro?
El libro es algo parecido como sacado del libro de Urantia y
Ah,
habla sobre un ángel que se vuelve como un amigo asiduo de Timothy, de Timothy
Mm.
Willis,
Mm.
mhm,
y es el que lo ayuda a escribir esos libros, casualmente. El ángel tenía como una conexión con Timothy,
mhm,
pero mucho de antes, ¿no? Porque parece que Timothy también era un ángel caído encarnado.
yeah.
Y es muy interesante porque el libro te relata muchas cuestiones de cuando hubo la primera explosión nuclear en la parte norte de África, por ahí por el Mediterráneo.
Mm,
Cuando Caligastia reveló a los habitantes de esos tiempos el gran secreto de la bomba atómica, el
mm,
secreto del átomo. Y parece que de ahí devino la cuestión de la Atlántida, la, la, que se sumergió en el océano, en el Atlántico. Es algo así parecido. Habla sobre los fandos, unas aves inmensas, grandísimas, que lo utilizaban como transporte aéreo.
mm,
Es interesante el libro.
No, this rebel angel who was close to Timothy Willis make the recitation of what happened during the rebellion. This angel say, I did not participate to the rebellion, but I was a watcher. I watch what's happened. So I was looking around. I watched what was doing the midwayer, and it by the way it corresponds to what Budzu, the friend of George Bernard, said. They were not educated, the midwayer. They do everything, good thing and bad thing.
mm,
And this rebel angel tells this kind of story. What's happened when Adam and Eve were here? What's happened? How Caligastia prepares a plan to put Eve at fault.
mm.
They explain, they see everything behind the scene, what's going on. So yeah, it's quite interesting book, but I don't know after if it's a complete truth. Maybe we can ask one day Sanjad what if he wants to tell more about it. Okay, so it's what we did today. And the end, we had this question, Marta. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you explore your biases and assumptions during this week? Did you explore your foundation around the 7 core values in your daily life? Did you support life? Do you bring quality of life to others during this week? Was quality a concern for you? And how do you express love, empathy, and compassion? And this kind of question.
Mhm.
So each one of us, we have tried to answer part of it.
I've also started writing what Daniel David had asked, the 1,200 words.
Yes.
So I will just finalize that and send it in.
Okay. Okay. So I said, because last week I was also 1 week off in the beach, trying to heal some people, to make my compassion, to activate my compassion and my love for them. So I start to do the transcript the last Friday.
Mhm.
And when I will finish, I will pass it to you. Today I will do again this transcript. But we have the first part is a long conversation between us. I don't know if I will put all the detail, but at the end we have a short conclusion from Sanjad, and he said, and she or he, No, E. Sanjat
Mhm.
is E. He said,
E.
go the way you are doing now, explore your value, explore your assumption, your belief, share it together. And from this point, you will have the foundation to go and do more. And Kona, basically.
Yeah, that was, I think, basically it. And then your personal question to Sanjit about the relationship.
Yeah. And I asked Kwanja because during the question today, I share with Kona and Juan that I have a personal problem, a personal relationship issue between me and my wife about this kind of activity. She don't support what I am doing, and I speak to Kona. I don't know really what to do, and Kona said the answer usually it's just love. Don't try to convince, but just love. So
Yeah.
I asked the same question to Sanjad, and he said, same thing, demonstrate love and compassion with your wife, and all the rest will follow. Voila.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to recommend, since we're really, I don't know if you have any more particular business. Martha might be too tired to go through
Yes.
these questions and not feeling well. Then maybe we should adjourn. Since we
Yes,
did a
I think
majority.
so.
Yeah. I will, if you send them to me, I will write them out.
Okay.
You can send them to me. I will write them out.
It's this is part of the agenda of today. So I will share the agenda of today, and later on I will share the transcript. And
Thank you very much.
Martha, you will agree to validate the two or do the proofreading of the two
Yes,
transcripts?
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
So
And
we
then,
can adjourn.
and then also, Martha, David wants to present the proposal next week, and the three of us said, I think we agreed that was fine. Did we ever finalize that, Jacques?
That's perfect. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you very much.
I would say, Kona, I will not say yes. I would say yes with a team.
Okay.
It must be with David. It must be with Jeff and Stefan. By the way, Martha, I wrote to Jeff. He's traveling to San Francisco for a wedding week. And Stefan did not answer yet to me. Then
is that to invite them to the event next week when David will be presenting? Yeah?
We can.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
know what?
in general, too,
Okay.
in general.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Martha,
yes,
receive our healing energy, because
Merci
from
beaucoup,
here,
monsieur.
I see you are very weak. You need love, you need lust, healing energy from our spiritual sisters. There are 12. They have plenty of energy, and receive feel this healing energy tonight while you are sleeping in your bed. You will see, and tomorrow morning it will be like okay.
It will be better. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that.
Bye bye.
Muchas gracias a todos. Chao.
Buenos días.
Hasta luego.
Adiós.
Chao.
Adiós.
Adiós. Let me.
Our brains are not special, but humans are. Why? Human brains are smart, but they're built the same way as all the other mammalian brains, from mice to whales. In fact, our human neurons are so similar to rats' neurons, they can fit right into their brains. What we do have is a lot of neurons for our body size, like a supercharged V8 engine squeezed into a hatchback. That's what evolution did with our heads. Humans make full use of that advantage to get the most thinking neurons possible on board. There are bigger brains with even more neurons, like in elephants. They have 3 times more neurons than us,